we asked Andrew on if we're getting a Fire Island 2, and he said to ask you. So when will you two be teaming up again?
Okay, listen, I would love to team up with Andrew on again, and that is definitely going to happen eventually. I think the track record for great rom-com sequels is not amazing. I'm not going to name any names. And so what I think people that will satisfy people is, my plan is to continue to make movies and just Christopher Guest style cast the same people in everything I do, and that chemistry on screen again. I think that'll scratch that itch for a lot of people who think they want a Fire Island sequel.
That was a great answer. Great answer. Now, Loot was renewed for season 3, and deservingly so. What's next for Nicholas?
Well, a lot of Nicholas's story this year or this season is a continuation of what we started to see last season. He's connecting a little bit more with his heritage and his identity, and he's figuring that all out, and also trying to figure out what's next for him and Molly. You know, like, he's been Molly's assistant for close to a decade, and like, is that something that he can continue to do, you know, as he gets older? So it's really exciting, and it's still a lot of me and Maya having a lot of fun, and so I think people should be very excited to see it.
You listen, we got to talk about Go Season 4, because Jay finally got to open his restaurant. Yeah. How was that new responsibility shifting things for him, and what was your reaction of finally seeing that?
I mean, look, first of all, I got to put a chef suit on, which apparently is going over really well on Reddit, which I'm happy about. Selfishly, as an actor, I rarely get to act with my co-stars, right? I'm constantly trying to pretend they're not there. So I have a kitchen staff who I can actually make eye contact with and talk to, which is really nice. And we have a lot of really funny stuff happening in the restaurant and around the restaurant that I'm not going to spoil right now, but it's really nice to have a new environment to play in and for the ghosts to see. Yeah, it's good.
Well, listen, now you're also King Boomy in Avatar: The Last Airbender.
I'm about to go in 2 days to Vancouver and shoot season 2 of Avatar. Yeah, I'm very excited for 6 hours of prosthetics, baby, and fake teeth, and to see my little homie Gordon, who plays Aang. We're going to have, not Aang, Aang. Yeah, we're going to have a good time together.
Well, what can we expect from you in season 2, your character in season 2?
I'm not going to get fired, bro. There's no chance. ScreenRant's not going to do it, baby.
I had to take the chance. You know how to take the chance.
Well, look, we stay pretty true to the animated series, so if you're a fan of the Airbender animated series, you know what's coming.
Look, I've been a big fan of Sean's journey on shrinking for a long time. For these last 2 seasons, incredible job. This season, you get to spend a lot more time with Harrison's character. Talk to me about what that experience was like.
Well, it sounds kind of cliche, I guess. Maybe other people have said this, but it's true. He works like a carpenter. He works like he builds a blueprint, and then we get inside the 4 walls. You know, he and the director really kind of set up this playground, but once it's built, we're playing. And he is just, I like how quickly he works too, because I like to prepare. So when I get to set, I got my lines down. And he's the same way. So then we just play, and he's also really funny. And I feel like a lot of people didn't know that before Shrinking, but it's great to just be a part of him making people laugh now.
I think one of the themes of last season that I really took was moving past trauma. Yes. What's one of the themes that we can expect going in season 3?
Well, that's kind of probably one of the underarching themes of the whole show, so that one's still going to be there. But this one in particular, if last season was about forgiveness and letting go, this season is about what's next, like what comes after that. A lot of times our trauma can get conflated with our purpose, where we think our purpose is to endure in the wake of loss or endure after the trauma, but we don't necessarily have to define ourselves by our trauma to have a purpose. And I think that's a lot of what season 3 is going to cover.
Season 3 was absolutely incredible. What particular episode or moment stands out for your character in that season?
The fact that he's trying to really get his bearings, and that he's slowly been entrusted with what the beef still is, as opposed to the bear, after what he went through in season 2 with having to deal with change so much, him starting to find his footing. I think the writers, the creators did such a great job of allowing him there and allowing me to kind of play in that silent space that I think they're going to be some. I think you'll be pleased with this season with what happens with him.
Now listen, I need more Winston in my life. I love Winston. He was my favorite Ghostbuster growing up. We've seen him in Frozen Empire. Where do you want to see Winston go next? We know he's fun in the whole thing now.
Right, yeah, and I want to see Winston sort of head the teams. Right now, it's sort of, I think the studio is focused on the family, which is a good thing. But I also would like to see Winston take some teams off and spin off and do some stuff in other directions. That would be a lot of fun. I don't want him to just be, talk about retirement, but just be that guy who sits in the office. I mean, I'd love to see them really, like in the original films, really get down and dirty and go at it. So
Winston was the everyman. We know it. Now, last year you were announced to be playing in a horror-themed version of Oswald in Oswald Down the Rabbit Hole. Right. Tell me everything, because I'm obsessed with this project.
Well, I'm obsessed too, but it's still, I don't know if it's funding or whatever. You know, these things, we got excited. We thought we were going to shoot, and then it got pushed back. And I'm doing a thing now called Deepest Darkest, and we were to shoot, you know, back 1st of December, and then things get pushed around. Now we're shooting next week, but you just roll with it, you know what I mean, and be ready when the time is right.
Now, is there any hope that if The Day the Earth Blew Up, the Looney Tunes movie, does well, that we might see Coyote versus Acme be resurrected?
That is the question of the year, and it's only February. I'm going to say yes. If this movie, The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie, opening March 14th in theaters everywhere, if that movie gets a lot of money, then we might see Coyote versus Acme. Stranger things have happened, and if we don't, I am going to put that movie under everyone's seat, a DVD. You will get. No, I'm just kidding. I was just kidding, David Zaslav. You didn't see that here.
Hey, I heard the film's incredible.
This is Ken Jeong signing off. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, both movies are great, but The Day the Earth Blew Up is the very first Looney Tunes film. If you can believe, these characters have been around for 90 years now, and it is their very first standalone movie without the help of any NBA basketball players or any overload of nostalgia. It is simply just a Looney Tunes movie, and it's hysterical. So, you know, I hope I get to talk about it tonight on stage, time permitting. But again, I'm here for the writers, because after all, a voiceover artist without writers, we're speechless, technically.
Absolutely. Now, you've also done some voice work for Invincible, which is great. What else do you have coming up that we can be excited for audiences to see?
I mean, right now, I'm just concentrating on this movie. There's been so much buildup around it, and of course, Looney Tunes. I'm just happy to get out of the house these days, you know? We're not in any red flag warnings or anything like that right now, so I am going to enjoy the moment with the writers, and I hope I get to see more people that I work with tonight. It's been a long time, so.
Well, Eric, you know ScreenRant loves you, baby.
I love you guys too, and on that note, that's all, folks.